Good morning. This week leading up to Holy Week, we see throughout the week we're dealing with chapter 8 of John's Gospel. And so the church is kind of preparing us for what's to come. Throughout the chapter 8 of John's Gospel, we see that there is an antagonism between Jesus and the Pharisees. And Jesus is giving the Pharisees one last chance to get on board, to believe that he is truly the Messiah. And so it's quite an interesting give and take. And it is, like I say, antagonistic in its tone. So Jesus sees that the Pharisees do not believe in him. The Pharisees do not believe in Jesus. And so Jesus, who was so patient with so many other people, he's totally unsympathetic to their unbelief. This is probably because he knew that their unbelief was not an honest intellectual response, but a problem of the heart. And so Jesus voiced the conviction that the greatest human problem in the world and in any age is sin. And that basic sin is unbelief. Unbelief. And Jesus knew that the Pharisees' unbelief was based on pride and self-righteousness. They knew better than anybody else, and nobody was going to tell them how things were. They were the Pharisees. They were the experts. And so for them to believe the words of Jesus, they have to necessitate them to really understand that their approach to religion was wrong. And so you see the Pharisees, in spite of all their knowledge of God, of all their knowledge of the Jewish faith, the Jewish laws, they were men of the world. And Jesus said this, "You are of this world. I am not of this world. You are of this world." And so that's where the real confrontation takes place. And so what happens is that the world will say to mind your own business. And Jesus says there's no such thing as minding your own business. The world says follow the wisest course and be successful. Jesus says follow me and be crucified. The world says law and order. Jesus says love. The world says get. Jesus says give. The world says me first. Show me the money. And Jesus says show me forgiveness. Show me compassion. Show me mercy. And all the things that this culture that we live in look upon as being weak, Jesus is asking us to show compassion and mercy. It's a rough road out there. It's an unbelieving world. And the Pharisees we see today represent that unbelieving world. It's an unbelieving world that we face every day, and that is our challenge. Our challenge is to live the faith amongst a culture that does not believe, by and large. That it's always a struggle. That we're always challenged to live a life of belief. And so, more than any time now, as we prepare for Holy Week, and we start to see the fruits of our Lenten sacrifice, our Lenten spirituality start to grow, and we see the benefits of that, of what our Lent has done for us, our spiritual awareness. Now, more than any other time, we need to pray that wonderful prayer, I do believe. Lord, help my unbelief. There's that old song by Simon and Garfunkel, I am a rock, I'm an island, I'm a rock. And I felt that I could be that as a young man. I don't need anybody. I could do it on my own. But you quickly learn in life that through community, you really do need people. And none of us can do it on our own. And that we're all, if by a community, you have a sense of helping others, that we're all in this together, that you can bring anybody closer to God in any way, then you're accomplishing something.